everybody. Got another call. Oh, that's so sad. Somebody died there in the corner. I got another call today for a printer and server. Tuckahoe Road in Bronx. Tuckahoe. Nice sunny day. I try not to stop back there because people, they come in fast over there. I don't want to get hit. Yeah, so I gotta go by 87. Let me close my shield because it's a little noisy. Actually, it is closed. I don't know what happened. Let me see. Oh, there it goes. It says all traffic going up there. Yeah, this should be forward. Alright, now my head. I'm trying to close my vents on my helmet. Quite windy today. I did that video when I was riding on a flat tire, and everybody was calling me. They were so worried. I didn't realize people were going to get so scared. I wasn't driving fast or anything. I was just trying to get home because the tube got shredded, and there was just no way I was going to get home. Not like that, anyway. So I went ahead and rode it home. But my dad called me, my mom, everybody was so worried. Sorry about that. I didn't realize people were going to get worried. I try to give a wave to people when they let you through, because it's nice. It's a rarity in New York. Most of the time people squeeze you. They don't give you a break here, that's for sure. It's a rough place to ride. It's also really rough on your bike. Yeah, this whole general area is really rough on vehicles. I would say, like, I wouldn't buy a used car from New York. Maybe California. Florida is nice, but a lot of rain. A lot of flooding. There's a good chance you're buying a flood car. That's the problem in Florida. You might get something that isn't what it says it is. California is probably the best place to buy a car, but the problem is California is so expensive now. It's more expensive than New York, that pricing on cars is more. Definitely pay a lot more for a car in California than you will in, say, for example, New York or Florida. Used car prices in California are very high. So used car prices in general right now are very high. And I noticed motorcycle prices have gone up. Used motorcycle prices have gone up considerably. Like I'm seeing like DRZ 400s going for $5,000. Ones that are done up with supermoto wheels and stuff, 6,000. I mean, it's crazy stuff. Like I mean, I like the DRZ, but I wouldn't pay 6,000 for a used DRZ. You don't know what you're getting. I mean, I bought a used bike. I bought used bikes before. Like when I first moved back from Philippines to here, I bought a Suzuki DR650. And it had immediately, the stator went out on it. It started leaking oil. I had to change the head gasket. So, you know, there's like things that go wrong, but you can't call the guy you bought it from and say, hey, fucker, you know, you sold me a bike with a bad stator. I knew it was a bad stator when I bought it. I could hear it. Well, pickup coil, actually. That's located on the same wrapping as the stator. But the bike was like, it was cold out, and he made like a face like, oh, this is not going to start right. But, you know, so it's because it's so cold. And normally a good bike will start no matter what the conditions are. So it started, but it ran like weak spark condition a little bit. And I mentioned that. And that's why he said, well, that's why I'm selling it for, it's a, you know, a DR650 with only 6,000 miles. He was selling it for 3,000, so I bought it, but I had to do a lot of work on it. The wheel bearings went on it shortly after. So when you buy a used bike, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get bit, you know, like that's just life when you buy a used vehicle. But the pricing now is just ridiculous. It's very high. It's very comparative almost to buying a new vehicle, which is quite scary. I don't know what caused this. I think it's the coronavirus. The conditions were ripe for used vehicles, but plus people's credit ratings and all that. People just don't want to buy a new car right now. And then it drove up the used car market. And then on top of that, the dealers are taking advantage of that. Everybody's taking advantage of the pricing. Everything's up. It's all up. And pricing up, financing, everything, it's very high. The used cars, because the banks don't really have, they have a lot of risk involved in selling a used vehicle. So all in all, it's a tough market. I feel the pain too, because I would like to get a new car myself. I'd love to get a van that I could trick out and travel around when I want to, sleep in it too. But those vans, those Mercedes or Dodge Sprinter vans it's unbelievable how much those cost. And now they're even more. They're brand new empty shell van is $50,000, and that's like big money. You could buy a condo in Philippines for $50,000, and we actually we want to get an extra condo, so the choice was made for us. It doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense when you add it all up. I have to remember that cop sitting there when I come back down. Normally they wouldn't chase a bike anyway. That's one good thing about riding in New York. When you're in California, it doesn't matter. There'll be a motorcycle cop called out on you right away. If a car can't catch up to you because of your speed or your wicked driving, don't worry. There'll be a motorcycle cop shortly after in LA. Doesn't matter. LA will go after you. They will turn the town upside down to go after a bike. Whereas in New York, they will not risk lives to chase after a bike. It's just not done. They don't do that. They don't mess around with motorcycles. If a motorcycle is traveling at a high rate of speed, they just let it go, try to get the plate if they can. But it's not something urgent like it is in California. California, you know from the get-go that if you're in it to win it, you better be really in it to win it, because they're gonna go put the wrath of California Highway Patrol on your ass. It's not cool at all. A simple little traffic violation turns into a major fucking deal, and I guess that's what they're trying to let people know on bikes, because there's a lot of motorcycles there. They don't want the attitude that people will just bolt out on cops all the time, and I don't say like people don't do that here either. They have respect for cops, but if there's a bullshit stop where they're just messing with people on bikes, people will just take off. They'll go down the wrong way down the highway. Bumps are nasty. They have nasty bumps on this road. They've always been like that ever since I can remember. These nasty humps. They never fix it. I think they're trying to slow people down. One thing about these KLRs though, engine braking is good. Like you can bring the bike, you can slow the bike down pretty well using engine braking, which is nice. You don't have to rely upon slamming on your brakes in wet conditions and things like that. Very helpful for this area. Like I learned a lot from riding in California, and I learned a lot from riding in New York City. In New York City, you want to ride high gearing. You don't want to you want to ride high gear, high RPM engine brake. It's the way to go on a KLR in New York. You don't want to be high torque. Sport bike is just not good here. There's the conditions in the road. Summertime's all right though when it's hot. You could have some fun showing off a little bit, but for the most part, you want a dual sport here. That's really the perfect bike for this area. There's too much metal in the road here. They don't, like in California, when they put a metal plate down on the road, it has hatches on it to allow for motorcycles to grip on there, and cars. You know, they don't want slippery conditions to be present, but they would stick like a slick metal plate here on the ground, or bridge joints will be with just like clear polished metal. Like, I mean, if you're on a bike, that's deadly. The roads are tough here. There's a lot of salt in the road, a lot of contaminants that will wreck your bike. Like yesterday, a lot of vibration in the road, a lot of things that just fuck up your bike. Like I had I sprung a leak in my radiator yesterday when I was on my way back from Jersey City, and I had to patch it in the field real quick with JB weld. Luckily, I just wire brushed it and then patched it with the JB weld, and it's still holding now. I probably should get a new radiator. Actually, I would love to hear from other riders. I know I always say that. Actually, I keep repeating myself. I'm gonna sound like a parrot. I would love.